For cheap D2R items, visit aoeah.com. You get 3% off with the code Arreat. Check the link in the description. Hello and welcome everybody. In this guide I will show you how to build a Wolfbarb for the Uber Tristram event. My goal was a setup to kill the Uber bosses with the same ease as a smiter. Maybe not that fast, but just as safe and comfortable. A Wolfbarb has two properties that are very useful here. He has a huge life pool and his attacks focus single targets. As a barb, you also get some resistances by his passive skill and critical strike by the weapon mastery. To succeed in his task, he will need to get some high attack rating value to make sure we hit the bosses reliably. Further we need crushing blow, open wounds and life tap, just as usual. But let's start with the stats and skills. We put sufficient strength for the equipment and also enough dexterity for 75% block chance. At level 99 that's 222 points. That's also nice for our attack rating. Remaining points go to vitality. The exact distribution can vary, as I will show 3 different builds. The skill trees will be all the same, 20 points each in shout and battle orders and 1 each in battle cry and battle command. With the passive skills we max the blade mastery as well as iron skin and natural resistance. Remaining points can be spent in increased speed. A short look at the IAS table. We will play a face blade or a fanged knife, and we will reach werewolf level 14 or 15. So we will aim for 50 to 75% increased attack speed. By the way, the breakpoints for Feral Rage and the basic attack are the same. My first build will use a Fleshripper, as it has many nice qualities we need for Uber Tristram. 50% open wounds, 33% deadly strike and 25% crushing blow. I socketed a bear rune to increase the crushing blow to 45%. Also the weapon adds -50% target defense and slows the enemy when hit. Of course we will need Wolf Howl, and since we will reach 80% IAS, +3 to werewolf would be sufficient yet. We need to socket an attack speed jewel here, and it's great to take one which also adds some attack rating. We play the Runeward Armored Treasury, as it adds further 45% increased attack speed, 20% faster hit recovery and it casts Fate. The last 20% IAS we need come from High Lords, which also adds lightning resist, deadly strike and +1 to all skills. I play a Storm Shield with a Shail rune, like that we can increase our block rate. Zaru's boots and belt add a nice attack rating bonus, scaling on the character level, and also some cold and fire resist. Then we need a Ravenfrost of course, and a ring to leech mana. We put Dracul's Grasp for the life tap cast. When getting triggered, you won't need any potions to counter heal. In the weapon swap we put 2 Heart of the Oaks, as the +3 to all skills will increase our war cries and also our werewolf skill level. We will use the Hotos for prebuffing and shapeshifting. In the inventory we can add some resist charms, but as we have a huge amount of life points, it's no drama when not getting the resistances maxed out. I also have put 2 mastery skillers here, but they are just for the variety. Much more important is the inside of the cube. Here we've got a Metamorphosis helmet. As soon as we shift it to wolf form, we can put it on and attack some random monsters to activate the mark of the wolf. This will add some more life and attack rating. After getting the mark, you can just switch the helm back. So before going to Uber Tristram, you can pre-buff yourself with the help of some random mobs, triggering the Fate precast and getting the mark. Wearing the Wolf Howl helmet, we will play Feral Rage in Uber Tristram. But we also have the opportunity to keep Metamorphosis for the 25% crushing blow. In that case you will need to put an IAS jewel in the Storm Shield and use the basic attack, but this also works fine. Using the cube button and fast switching items by shift left click, it's also no big deal to swap the helmet while fighting. This build has 75% open wounds, 70% deadly strike and either 45 or 70% crushing blow, depending on the helmet. We have about 6k life without the mark of the wolf yet, as well as the solid attack rating value. Getting the mark, we increase to 6600 life and about 19,000 attack rating with Feral Rage. Of course, a Grief setup should not miss here, as the extra damage from this rune word is an approved argument for Überruns. It also adds 20% deadly strike and minus 25% target defense. But we will need an attack speed roll of at least 37% here, so we only need one IAS jewel to reach the breakpoint at 52%. We will only reach Werewolf level 14, including a Wolf Howl with plus 6. But this time we will keep the Wolf Howl in the cube and use it just for the shapeshift. In Uber Tristram we will play Metamorphosis, as we need the crushing blow here. It also adds Cannot Be Frozen, so we don't need to put a Raven Frost. Like that we can just play the dual Angelic Set combo for a huge AR boost. When fighting with the basic attack, we don't need no mana leech either. Since this build has a focus on high damage, we put the 40 here. And in the Storm Shield, we will need the IAS jewel I mentioned. We put Gore Rider for open wounds, deadly strike and crushing blow, a Thunder Gods for maximum light resist and absorb, and Draculs again for the life tap cast. Also we have 2 Heart of the Oaks and can add some charms with fire and light resist. This build only has 35% open wounds, 35% deadly strike and 40% crushing blow, but it shines with its huge extra damage from the rune word, which sadly does not appear in the statistics. We got 21k attack rating and about 7k life. To maximize your resistances for the fight against Mephisto, you can use a Treasury prebuff here as well.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
And finally the third variant. Here we take a Last Wish faceplate with up to 70% chance of crushing blow. Further it adds the Might aura and casts both Fate and Life tap. Unfortunately it has no attack speed on it, so we need a Wolf Howl helm with +6 to Werewolf here again. Like that we get to Werewolf level 15 and only need 50% increased attack speed. We put one IAS jewel into Wolf Howl and one into Storm Shield. I used some with additional attack rating here again. The remaining 20% attack speed then come from High Lords. This amulet perfectly fits into this build, as we need the +1 to all skills for our Werewolf level, and also this will be our only item adding some deadly strike. Another time we take the AR boost from the set belt and boots, just as the Raven Frost and the Dual Leech ring. But since we get life tap from the weapon yet, I play Steel Rend for some more crushing blow and enhanced damage. The body armor is Duress because we still need open wounds on this setup, and it also adds 15% more crushing blow. Of course you could decide to play Draculs for the open wounds and just put a 40. But Steel Rend and Duress add some more variety and they help maxing out the crushing blow. The rest is similar. We have 2 Heart of the Oaks again, Metamorphosis in the cube, and we can put some resist charms in the inventory. Fully buffed, this build has 6.6k life, 20,000 attack rating, 35% chance for open wounds and 95% crushing blow. With 37% deadly strike, we have an amount similar to the second build. Since the barb also gets 30% critical strike chance from the mastery, we end up at about 55% chance of double damage. For comparison, the first variant with 70% deadly strike has a total chance of about 80% for double damage. Feel free to choose. I say goodbye, take care, and may the loot be with you.
My brothers will not have died in vain.
Come on. Follow me. Thank you. Goodbye.